Welcome to today's history.
Every day holds moments that change the world, and May 8th is no exception, from the fiery fall of a city to the final breath of a world war. From scientific sacrifice to the birth of Coca-Cola, these aren't just events, they're turning points. Thanks for joining us on this journey through time. Let's uncover what happened on this day in history.
Chapter 1. Antoine Lavoisier executed.
1794.
May 8th, 1794. Amid the blood-soaked turmoil of the French Revolution, Antoine Lavoisier, often called the father of modern chemistry, was led to the guillotine. Lavoisier wasn't just a scientist.
He redefined science itself. He discovered the role of oxygen in combustion, helped establish the metric system, and brought chemistry out of the Dark Ages.
But despite his brilliance, he was also a tax collector, and during the Revolution, that was a death sentence. Revolutionary France didn't care for science or logic. His judge famously dismissed him, saying, "The Republic has no need of scientists or chemists." That afternoon,
France executed one of its greatest minds.
A life devoted to reason and progress cut short by political rage. It was a tragic reminder that even knowledge can't always protect you from the tides of history.
Chapter 2. Coca-Cola is first sold.
1886.
May 8th, 1886, Atlanta, Georgia. Inside Jacob's Pharmacy, a curious new drink was poured into a glass and handed to a customer for just 5 cents. The name? Coca-Cola. Its creator, pharmacist John Stye Pemberton, originally designed it as a medicinal tonic meant to ease headaches and fatigue. The secret formula?
A mix of coca leaf extract, cola nuts, and syrup, all blended with carbonated water. No wonder they could have predicted that this fizzy concoction would become a global icon. Coca-Cola would go on to influence not just the beverage industry, but advertising, branding, and even pop culture. From that single glass in 1886, it sparked a movement, a taste that would cross oceans, generations, and cultures, and it all started with one pharmacist
and one sip. Chapter 3. Mount Pelée eruption destroys Saint-Pierre. 1902. May 8, 1902. The Caribbean island of Martinique awakened to catastrophe. At precisely 7:52 am, Mount Pelée, a looming volcano near the northern coast, violently erupted. Within just minutes, a superheated cloud of gas, ash, and volcanic rock swept down its slopes,
slamming into the coastal city of Saint-Pierre. The result?
Total annihilation. Saint-Pierre, once known as the Paris of the Caribbean, was turned to ash. More than 30,000 people, nearly the entire population, died almost instantly. Only a handful survived, including a prisoner locked inside a stone cell.
This wasn't just a natural disaster.
It was one of the deadliest volcanic eruptions of the 20th century. And the warning signs had been there: tremors, ash falls, strange animal behavior, all tragically ignored. Mount Pelée's eruption serves as a haunting reminder of how quickly life can vanish beneath nature's fury. Chapter 4. Victory in Europe. WWII Day. 1945. May 8, 1945, a date etched in the hearts of millions. After 6 long, devastating years, the guns across Europe finally fell silent. The Western Allies formally recognized Nazi Germany's unconditional surrender, and with it,
the end of World War II in Europe. Although the surrender had been signed a day earlier in Reims, France, it was May 8th when the world truly began to celebrate.
In London, people flooded the streets, cheering beneath Big Ben. In Paris, crowds danced on the Champs-Élysées. In New York's Times Square, strangers embraced, united by a shared sense of relief, victory, and the promise of peace. It was a day of reflection, remembrance, and rejoicing, a day that reminded the world, even after unimaginable darkness, light can return. Chapter 5. The Beatles officially break up.
1970.
The world's most famous band, the Beatles, officially came to an end. Just weeks earlier, Paul McCartney had publicly announced his departure. But on this day, it became real with the release of their final studio album, Let It Be. But fame, creative tension, and personal differences finally took their toll. Despite the heartbreak, their legacy was already sealed: timeless music, unmatched influence, and a story that continues to inspire generations. Let It Be wasn't just an album, it was a farewell. For over a decade, John, Paul, George, and Ringo transformed not just music, but culture itself, from the screaming fans of Beatlemania to the experimental sounds of SGT. Pepper. They redefined what a band could be. Chapter 6. American Indian Religious Freedom Act passed by Congress. 1973.
On May 8, 1973, the United States Congress took a powerful step toward justice by approving the American Indian Religious Freedom Act. For centuries, indigenous peoples across North America were denied their sacred rites. Ceremonies were banned, languages suppressed, and sacred sites destroyed.
This act was a long overdue recognition of Native Americans' fundamental rights to practice their traditional religions, access sacred lands, and honor ancestral customs without government interference, though the law wouldn't be fully enacted until 1978. May 8th marked a turning point, a formal acknowledgement that freedom of religion must include all religions.
It wasn't just a legislative act, it was a moment of cultural respect, resilience, and long-awaited dignity for Native communities across the country.
Chapter 7. Soviet Union boycotts the Summer Olympics, 1984. May 8, 1984, in a move that shocked the sports world, the Soviet Union announced it would boycott the Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, citing security concerns and what they called anti-Soviet hysteria in the US. The Kremlin declared that its athletes would not compete. But beneath the surface, this was Cold War politics at its peak, a direct response to the United States' own boycott of the 1980 Moscow Olympics, 4 years earlier.
The absence of the USSR and 13 of its allies altered the games dramatically. Events were missing top contenders, medal counts shifted, and the Olympic spirit meant to unite nations was overshadowed by political tension. This wasn't just about sports.
It was about power, ideology, and a global rivalry that stretched far beyond the playing field.
Chapter 8. Nicolas Sarkozy elected President of France.
2007.
On May 8, 2007, France turned a new political page as Nicolas Sarkozy was elected the 23rd President of the French Republic, promising bold reforms, stronger national identity, and tougher immigration policies. Sarkozy appealed to voters seeking change after 12 years under Jacques Chirac.
His victory over socialist candidate Ségolène Royal marked a shift toward a more conservative and business-friendly leadership.
Sarkozy's rise was also symbolic, the son of a Hungarian immigrant becoming the leader of one of Europe's most influential nations.
It reflected a changing France and echoed the global trend of assertive, modern politicians redefining traditional politics. His presidency would go on to face both praise and controversy.
But it all began on this day in 2007.
And that wraps up May 8th in history, a day of eruptions, revolutions, and remarkable change. If you enjoyed this journey through time, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to today's history, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment from the past. What date should we explore next?
Drop your favorite day in the comments below, and we might feature it in an upcoming episode.
Until then, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep history alive.